Hello, crafty friends. It's Elisa from Paisley Papyrus. I have my fancy pants on today because this is the card that we are making today. I hope you like it. It involves several steps and a couple products, but it's actually pretty simple to do. So let's go ahead and get started on this card. So our first order of business is to have a very vanilla card base, and this is 5.5 by 8.5 and then folded in half, so it ends up being 4.25 by 5.5. We're going to set that aside. Then I have a piece somewhere here that is 4 by 5.25, and let me double check that, make sure that I measured it right. 4 by 5.25, yes, that's correct. And we are going to get out our, let's see, which stamp set are we using today? This one is called Christmas Season, and it is in the mini catalog, and I love it. It's so great. So we're going to pull out the boughs from that, the evergreen boughs, and then we're going to pull in evening evergreen to go with our evergreen boughs. And we are going to do some fun stamping on here. We're going to use this one that has the two boughs on it, the bigger and the small, and we're going to put him right here, kind of going off the edge, and then we're going to stamp it a second time for a lighter effect. But you see, can you see right here where there's a little bit on the edge from where I stamped off and it didn't take the ink off? So we're going to be conscious of that and make sure that we don't use that on and keep that off the edge. See how I got a little bit on? It'll be okay in the end, but that's what we're trying to avoid here. So we're going to use this guy right here, pull him off, and then we're going to take him and put him right about there. I rocked my block. Hopefully that wasn't bad. Okay, that's cool. He's going to be covered up, so that's good. And then we're going to do one more kind of right over here. Okay, then we're going to set that block aside. Then we're going to pull in the other one that is just a single bough, and we are going to put him right here. And then we're going to stamp off again right in there. And then we're going to do a full strength right about here, and maybe stamp off right in that guy. And then we're going to do a full strength in here coming from the corner, and do this guy right here just on the tip to add in that little white area there. And then we're going to add one coming here, and I know that that looks crazy because he's in the middle, but trust me on that one. And I meant to stamp him off afterwards and I forgot, so we're going to do him here and this guy here to fill in there. And let's see here, we're going to do this guy over here coming up, and then we'll put him right here in the middle. And there you go. You have a lovely little bow edged piece of paper. So then I will take him and I will run him through my embossing folder. And for this embossing folder, I am using Timeworn, and I had it here on my desk and I don't know where he went, but it is the Timeworn embossing folder. Oh, here he is. Timeworn Type, that's what he's called. And I'm going to take him, open him up, put him in here. Since my card is landscape, we're going to put him in this way so that our words that you can't actually read but appear to be going this direction, and we're going to run him through our embossing folder, and we are going to end up with a card base that looks like this. Okay, so we're going to set that guy aside, and then we're going to pull in a piece of scrap, very vanilla, and we are going to start with Sahara sand and our pine cones. And let's take this, put him right here. And we're going to do a light pine cone right up here. Because it's photopolymer, I can see through it and I can make sure that I have all the ink on there. So ink him up. We're going to put him right over here. And then we're going to set that guy aside. We're going to ink him up, the littler guy. And we'll put him, let's see, right here. And set that guy aside. Then we are going to bring in our early espresso, and we're going to open that guy up. So move this guy off to the side, and uh-oh, I did it backwards. Snap. did it backwards. All right, we're gonna flip it over and we're gonna redo it. So if you do it backwards, just remember there's two sides to every piece of cardstock. So this guy is the background, not the other guy, and we're gonna put him here. See, everybody makes mistakes. It is okay. It is all fixable. It's just paper, right? It's just paper. So one of the things that you will frequently hear me say is there's no such thing as sacred paper. And that is true. There's no such thing as sacred paper. So let me set these guys off to the side. That was, again, Sahara sand for the background. And then we're going to pull in our early espresso and do the foreground. This time I'm doing it right. So then we're going to line him up right over top, and you're going to give yourself a pine cone. Then we're going to do the same thing with a smaller guy. Line him up, put him right here, and voila. Then we're going to take the little edge guy here, and we're going to put him right here. And there you go. Okay, we're going to close that guy up so that I don't stick my finger in him. And then we're going to pull in our cherry cobbler, and we will make sure this guy matches up. And he does. How does he match up? I always mess this guy up. I always have to twirl him for a second before I stamp him down to make sure I do it right. And then he lines right up and straight down, straight up. Very nice indeed. Then since this set doesn't have a sentiment in it, I have pulled in my inspired thoughts. Oh, not inspired thoughts. That's for a different card that I'm going to show you in a minute. I have pulled in best year, which has the warm wishes for a happy Christmas. Then let's see. Let's pull him out because he's not loaded on the block yet. We're just going to grab this guy right here and put him on the back. And ink him up, and let's go this direction. Now we'll go this direction. Stamp him down. Okay, very nice. All right, so that is all of our stamping for now. Then we're going to pull in the dies, and the dies that go with this set are called seasonal label dies, and they have a bunch of dies in it. It is major value for your dollar. So then we're going to line this guy up with this. We would make sure that we had more space on our piece of paper. We'd run him through, then we would run him through as an outline stamp. We'd run him through as an outline stamp, and we'd run him through as an outline stamp. Okay, but through the magic of television, I already, oops, I just got some ink on him, already have those done for you. Okay. Hang tight for just 1 second while I put it together. Okay, let me pause for just 1 second while I go get one thing. Sorry to keep you waiting for that pause, but I had forgotten to cut out my sentiment before I started the video. All right, so now we are going to do another little step, and I am going to pull in my sponge dauber, and these are super fun. They stick on your finger just like so, and we are going to edge this guy up, give him a little bit of a distressed look. Okay, we're just going to go around the edges just like this, just to give him a little bit of distress, little differentiation from the card base layer. This is such a simple way to make your cards pop that little extra bit. Okay, and then after we do that, we are going to go over the raised image of our card, and I'm going to pull in my piece of scrap paper again. I'm going to dab him off, and then I'm going to very lightly go over these raised edges to give him just a little bit of distress. And I'm barely dragging it along the top so that it doesn't get down in the depths of my card all the way to the base. We're just kind of hitting the tops of the embossed card, and you're just kind of using what's left on the dauber after you kind of hit the big parts. Okay, so you want to go in several directions so that it doesn't look like you're always going left to right. So there you go. All right, so there we have our distressed background. We are going to take him, and let's get these guys out of my way. Whoops, sorry. flip him over, and for this one I'm going to use the edges of this right here because I can. I'm just clipping them off like that. I'm going to put one guy here and peel him off, one guy here and peel him off, and then one guy over here and peel him off, and one guy over here and peel him off. I'm hopeful that I am still in frame, and then because I don't want my middle to sag, I'm going to pull off 2 more dimensionals and put them right here in the center, just to give it a little lift in the middle so that he doesn't sag on me. I'm going to put him up here in this corner like so, and voila, there is our base coming together. Then we will take this guy. He is our bigger of the 2. We're going to put 3 dimensionals on him just to make sure he has all of the lift that he needs, because he's going to support the other 2 as well. Now remember this random guy right here, it doesn't matter because he is going to come right between them and it is hidden. The base of him is hidden. Then this guy is going to go on here like this, so I'm going to hold this side and only put dimensionals on this side over here, and put 1 and 2 right here like that, and then we will flip him over and put him right about there. And then this guy, we're going to just use a little bit of glue because he doesn't need any more dimension behind him. So just a smidge of glue behind him. You don't need a lot. A dab will do ya. Put him right here in the middle. And then, because I'm feeling fancy today, I'm going to pull out my Wink of Stella, and I'm just going to hit those berries so that they almost glisten. Now, because this is water-based ink, it will pick up a little bit of your red and move it around. That's okay. Just pull in your scrap piece of paper and rub it off so that your red doesn't go on your next project. Okay? Then while that is doing its thing, I'm going to pull in this metallic. It is Cherry Cobbler in gold. It is in the mini catalog, and it is fabulous. It is so nice to work with. So we're going to take him, pull him over here, pull him through here, and make everybody behave the way I want them to. Pull this guy back down, pull this guy back down, and tighten him up. And you can futz around with him until you have him just the way you want him. Now I hold the tails in between my fingers like this, which is kind of weird, and then I pull, okay? And then I have him just perfect, okay? I'm going to cut this guy like that, and I'm going to cut that guy like that. Oops, that is not a straight edge. We're going to set this aside. We're going to pull in our glue dots and flip this guy over and pick up a glue dot. I like to take my bow to the glue dot, give it a nice firm press right there on the knot. And sometimes I do 2. And in this case, I think I will do 2. And get that guy out of the way. We're going to pull him in and put him right up here like so. Okay. I forgot to ink up this sky. He is very much still inked from before. So all I have to do is go around the edges of him, and there we have it. And we will take some more of our dimensionals and put them on the back of this guy. You can see that I used the back and made a mistake and just flipped him over again and used the other side. So we'll take him, put him right here in the middle. Now he is gorgeous just the way he is. Let's make sure I line this up right. I'm going to use my grid paper for that. I'm going to put him right here. He is gorgeous just the way he is, but he could be more gorgeous. So we are going to pull in our blendabilities, or not blendabilities, that's the old name for them, our Stampin' Blends, and I have my dark cherry cobbler, and I am just going to color a regular old gemstone basic rhinestone with my blendability to make it the color that I want. Now I have my take your pick tool right here. I already have these other two dry. Not that it takes long for it to dry, but there you go. And there you go. And we have a beautiful Christmas card ready to be sent. So what do you think? Do you love it? I sure do. I love that cherry ribbon. I love the little berries with the sparkles on them, and I love the warm wishes for a happy Christmas. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a good one.